Saudi Arabia were relentless in last summer's transfer window, and it looks like they're trying to operate in exactly the same way this time around. They're being linked with an Arsenal midfielder, and they're actually optimistic that they can pull this player from Arsenal's first team and bring him over to Saudi Arabia. Also, after that, in this video, I'm going to give you my Euros predictions, and of course, I want to hear yours as well. Just very quickly, though, before we get into it, I hate to ask, but just do me a favour, hit like on this video. So look, the first place I want to start is Saudi Arabia. They're going to be looking to bring in Thomas Partey in this summer's transfer window. Let me know your thoughts on that. You know, the rumours out there are saying that they're actually optimistic that they can bring this player in. We've heard recently that Edu flew over to Saudi Arabia to maybe make some links. You know, there was kind of a bit of a frosty relationship before, but Edu's flown over there, and now there's actually links. So if Arsenal do want to offload players to Saudi Arabia, which can be a handy tool for sure, we know we're going to have to sell players if we want to bring in some of these players for the big money. So could Thomas Partey leaving and going to Saudi Arabia actually bring in a decent amount of money so we can reinvest that into the squad? Would I sell Thomas Partey? I wouldn't necessarily want to sell him if I'm just looking at the player, because in terms of a player, Thomas Partey is brilliant. You don't need me to tell you that. All of us saw it at the end of last season, just how good Thomas Partey was. We know what he offers this team. He sits deep. He's so good defensively. His passing range and just the ability to allow Declan Rice the free roam to just keep getting forward, knowing that he has Thomas Partey behind him, so he doesn't really have to worry that much. You know, if we do let him go, we're going to have to bring in my opinion, probably a similar player. And that does leave us questioning kind of, you know, we've had this discussion this season already. You know, what kind of player do we see Declan Rice as? Is he a 6 or is he an 8? And that will depend on what kind of player we go out there and sign in the summer, because Arsenal will sign a central midfielder in this summer's transfer market. They have to. Look, we've had Jorginho sign. Brilliant. Now it looks like Thomas Partey is going to leave the club. So that leaves us even more, you know, vulnerable in terms of midfield, because I think we probably needed an extra midfielder in this season. Look, Jorginho did help us out quite a bit, but I think we could have done with that extra number. But then again, what do you go for? Look, the rumours, Douglas Luiz, Zubimendi, Onana, Bruno Guimaraes, they're all handy options. I've made my opinion known on this channel. I would go for Onana. I think he's the perfect replacement for Thomas Partey. I like him. Some of you guys have said you don't. But that's the only option I can see out there in terms of going to get a player that probably won't cost an arm and a leg. You know, Bruno Guimaraes, in a perfect world, of course, go and get him. But he's going to cost £100 million. Onana, we're hearing Everton are going to have to sell a big asset again just so they can comply with the PSR. So if that means getting Onana for £40-50 million, I think that's a no-brainer. You sell Thomas Partey. What kind of fee can you expect for an older Thomas Partey? I don't know. Let me know your opinion. If Saudi Arabia are actively looking to bring in Thomas Partey, what kind of fee do you deem as acceptable? How much would you sell Thomas Partey to Saudi Arabia for? Bearing in mind, you're going to have to then use that fee to go and buy someone else. Let me know. So let's get into our Euro predictions. I want to hear your guys as well. I've picked out 5 categories that I think we can have some interesting discussion on, okay? I think we can pick a winner, a top scorer, a dark horse / overachiever, an underperformer, and a best young player. I've picked my winners from this category, and like I said, let me know yours in the comment section. So first of all, who do I think is going to win the Euros? Now, I probably should have done this video yesterday before the tournament started, but I gave you guys an option to put your suggestions on who you think is going to win in the comment section yesterday, and some of you have done that. So at the end of the tournament, I will go back through these videos and see who picked out the winning team. Look, in terms of a winner, I would love England to win, but I'm going to put bias aside in this and say I can't pick England. Look, do I think England's going to win it? Yes, I hope so. I've said to myself, you have to pick another nation. Like, you can't pick England. Take the bias out, remove England, and pick another team. So I'm going to go for Germany. I've always had Germany in my head because I looked at their team sheet about 2 weeks ago, and from the keeper all the way up to the striker, all I see is world-class players or borderline world-class players. They got Neuer, Kimmich, Rudiger, Tar at Bayer Leverkusen. Then their midfield is absolutely stacked. Their attack was stacked, and we saw that yesterday. Sane starts on the bench. They've got some incredible players. And we saw in yesterday's game just that they can bring a player off the bench and then players can make an impact. They can score goals. Not only that, Kai Havertz. We'll have a quick word on Kai Havertz because he scored a goal yesterday and he seems to be carrying on his form. I've seen a lot of haters out there on the internet saying, oh, he only scored a penalty. He played rubbish apart from that. And all I say to that is, what game were you lot watching? Kai Havertz was involved in so much of the good stuff. Look, they trusted him with a free kick. They trusted him with a penalty. Kai Havertz is a pivotal piece of Germany's team. If Germany win the Euros, it will be because Kai Havertz has had a massive say in that. Got a goal, got his assist. So yeah, I'm going to go for Germany. In terms of top scorer, I've actually seen so many people going for Kai Havertz. And the thing is, I would actually agree. I'm not going to pick Kai Havertz in this section. But in terms of top scorer, I do think Kai Havertz has the ability to be top scorer, but I'm actually going to go for a bit more of a boring option. Now, usually when I'm picking the top scorers, I've never actually picked this guy to be top scorer, but I can't see further than Harry Kane. As long as he don't do what frustrates so many of us England fans. Stop dropping so deep, Harry. Stay up there. In terms of finishing, you're one of the best finishers in world football. But we saw in that last game, you dropped all the way back to right back to try and pick the ball up. We ain't Tottenham. We don't need you to drop so deep. We've got players on the pitch that can provide you with goal-scoring opportunities, so you don't need to drop all the way back to try and craft them opportunities for yourself to get onto the ball. Go and stand in the penalty area and let England's array of talent put the ball on a plate for you, and you will get so many goals in this tournament, I promise you. And that's why I'm going for Harry Kane. Just look at the players he's going to have around him. Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice. So many players that are able to give an assist. Just look at the assist numbers from all the players around him. Add them up, and I think that can carry onto this England team, and I think we will provide Harry Kane with so many goal-scoring opportunities. And Harry Kane is a brilliant finisher, so you've got to give it to him. So top scorer, I'm going with Harry Kane. Dark horse / overachievers. Look, I'm going for a team that I haven't actually seen any other person pick. I'm going with Switzerland. Now, at the time of recording this, I'm on midday on Saturday. So they do play today against Hungary in a couple of hours. And I think that game will determine whether Switzerland can go on and have a good tournament. I've seen so many people actually picking Hungary to go on and be their overachievers. But for me, I can't look no further than Switzerland. I'm looking at Granit Xhaka, and it is just the Granit Xhaka effect. That's the only reason. Well, not the only reason, but that's one of the main reasons in why I'm picking Switzerland. Just that, Granit Xhaka was so underrated for Arsenal, so underappreciated by so many Arsenal fans. We saw him go to Bayer Leverkusen, and he's been one of the main factors in why they went unbeaten. You know, just we know what he offers in terms of play, but just his ability to be able to dictate a game in terms of his vocal nature. You know, the way Granit Xhaka is able to command a game. I think there's a lot to be said for that in massive games. And in big tournament football, I think Granit Xhaka can help his teammates in having an unbelievable Euro. So my overachievers / dark horse, I'm going to give it to Switzerland. So next I've gone for underperformers, and this one might shock some people. I might be saying this just in terms of being slightly hopeful, but I think France are going to be the Euros underperformers. Look, people are going to see when this Euro tournament's over, I'm going to do another video of me going through these, and I think people are going to see me picking France and say, oh my God, this guy's a genius, because I truly believe France will struggle in this Euros. Now, there's no reason for that. If you're looking at their team, they probably do have the best team in the Euros. And for that reason, I just think they're not going to live up to the hype. I don't think they're going to be able to deal with the expectation that is on them. So for me, the underperformers this Euros is going to be France. And then the final section is the best young player. There's so many good young players. I'm looking at Spain, they got some great young players. I'm looking at England, they got some great young players. But for me, the best young player in this tournament will be Florian Wirtz for Germany. I like the kid. He's so good. I think he will get a move to a massive team after this tournament. I don't think there's going to be too much movement now the Euros has kicked off. I don't think we can expect any of these players to move during the Euros, and why should they? They're at probably one of the biggest tournaments they're ever going to play in. But after the Euros, I think Florian Wirtz is going to move to a massive team. Would I take him at Arsenal? Yes, because he's brilliant. Where does he fit in? I don't know. But with a player like that, you have to fit him in. I think he's a great young player. And for me, Best young player of the Euros will be Florian Wirtz. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. What do you think of the Thomas Partey news? Would you be happy to see him go? What kind of fee would you be happy with from Saudi Arabia? But also, let me know your Euros predictions. Who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the top scorer? Who's going to be the dark horse or overachievers? Who's going to be the underperformance? And who, in your opinion, is going to be the best young player? Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. And like I said, just do me the favor very quickly before you go, hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.